What's going on, everybody? It's your boy the Rockets over here at the Rockiest Gaming, and today I'm bringing you another special division video. Before we get started, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and let's get right into it. Well, we finally here, boys, 1.6, and oh man, this has been a highly anticipated video, and a lot of people have been asking me to build this build, but I mean, I didn't understand why, but now I understand why, and I just had to share this video because I wanted you to understand the way I build this build and the reason why I build it this way. It's not too many different, but the things about this build I'm going to show you is the reason why it's so strong, and I will have a follow-up video like I do all my builds so you can see the pros and the cons about this build. Alright, so without further ado, let's get right into it. As you can see, I'm over here doing a chicken dance, man. If you guys are wondering where I get this from, if you don't already know, this guy right over here, your primary vendor, he sells all that great stuff. I already made a video demonstrating all the emotes and some of the camos that you can see. I'm rocking one on my backpack and on my gun as of right now, but that's for another day. So let's go right into the build as you guys came here to see. All right, so I'm rocking the striker build. Okay, nothing too different, nothing too spectacular. The obviously 4 striker and 2 high ends. Okay, so like always, we're gonna start off with the chest piece, and then we're gonna come back and work our way to the guns. All right, so first and foremost, let's go to my chest piece. My chest piece, I'm rocking, of course, health. Health became one of the assets, seeing that armor is not a major asset right now no more, so you don't technically need armor on nothing at all because you can't roll for it. At least it's mixed with the health, and I also have 6% enemy armor. It's still a major stat right there, enemy armor damage. Don't let it fool you with the 46% ammo capacity. All right, and the base armor is 1,899. Now, by the way of mods that I'm using on this, I am using stamina, and I am also using stamina with skill power and firearms with health. Okay, now the reason why I chose to use a little skill power in my chest piece is because skill power plays a major impact in your healing, and you know, the way how fast you get some of your stuff back. It plays a big part now in the 1.6, so you don't want to walk around with that 98 or 89 skill power. That shit is just not gonna cut it at all. And your electronics, you actually want to get over 3,000, within 3,000 and up. That's kind of like the comfort spot, but I'm pretty good with this because the way I play, trust me, I'm pretty good with this. All right, next we got the face mask. Okay, we got the striker mask coming in at 3.5 critical hit chance. Now this can be a lot more better because I can get 3.5 critical hit chance, and I also can get enemy armor damage, or I can get crit damage if I'm not mistaken, but I'm not too sure. But like I said, it can get better. Damage to elite, it is what it is, but I mean, it's an okay mask because of 3.5 crit chance. Haven't found a better mask, and it comes at 935 armor with a high, what I rolled for 1260. That's pretty much maxed out. This is a pretty mid-max mask right here. By the way of mods, I have firearms and signature ability resource gain. Reason why I put the signature ability resource gain on there is because it helps me get back my signature 3% a lot more quicker than the average time. Like I said, it's all about trying things out and seeing how fast things come back. Not to mention, skill haste does play a factor of you getting your signature ability resource gain back quickly too. So mix that in with a little bit of skill haste and you'll be surprised what this can do. But this is what's going on with it. Next, we have my knee pads. Knee pads, I'm coming in at 1262 high firearms roll. That is a very great roll right there. And also it comes by the way of a major attribute. I rolled for health on this just to give me a little bit boost in the health. As you can see, I'm only rocking 365 toughness. Now in some of you guys' eyes, that's pretty low. Not in the 1.6. 1.6, you do not need to be rocking at 407, 485 like we was doing in the 1.5. It's totally up to you. And 365 is pretty good toughness in my book, and I'll show you actually the character stats about that as far as the health goes. The knee pad's okay. It comes with bleed resistance, burn resistance, and disrupt resistance. I would take shock over disrupt, but like I said, it's okay. It's not the best, but it's okay. By the way of mods on my knee pads, I have stamina and health, and of course I'm rocking the 2% critical hit damage. You know, that's very important in this build. Next, we have the holster. Holster, we going by the way of health. It's unrolled, haven't even touched this. I'm still debating on which way I want to go with the holster, or what do I want to add. I'm thinking about adding, but I'm thinking about not adding. I was thinking about adding some skill haste to it, but probably not. I'm probably just gonna leave it the way it is because it sits just right. And this is kind of the builds that I like to build, more of a hybrid build, basically balanced in all areas of survivability. Okay, now it gives me room for increased improvement in either way I want to go, whether it's primary, toughness, or skill power. And that's how I like a build. I just don't like to focus on two aspects of this build or any build. That way it limits you to creating a stronger and a more powerful build. All right. And of course, we're using a specialized backpack that gives you 200% firearms and stamina to skill power. Hence, that's why my skill power is pretty up there. If I swap this out, my skill power will probably take a major plummet, and we don't want that. And it has health on it also, and it's not rolled. This is also has not been touched yet. So as you can see, I still have room for improvement. I'm just having fun with the build just the way it is right now. By the way of mods on my backpack, I'm rocking 257 firearms, 2% all resistance. That might change, but I rock the 2% all resistance due to the fact that everybody's getting the bow knee pads and spamming the shit out of grenades. So you kind of need a little bit of protection. And if you do plan on going into the last stand, you need at least some kind of resistance, because the way those secret mines are being set up right now, shit just don't make sense. It really don't. But I got 2% skill critical hit damage and another 2% critical hit damage. Very important in this build, and later on you will see why. And of course, I'm rocking that dope ass skin that you see on my gun, but it's not the one that's on my backpack. But yeah. And of course, we got the Savage Glove. Savage Glove is always going to be a must, hands down. Now, they do have better gloves, but the reason why the Savage Glove is always going to be a must is because of that 7% critical hit chance that you always get no matter what. So you can find a glove that's better than this one. This one comes with 15% critical hit damage, assault rifle damage, which I rolled for, and critical hit chance. Now, there are other unique rolls that you can get on your gloves, but without that 7% critical hit chance, I don't think it's gonna beat the Savage Glove. Unless you're not looking for that crit, then you don't need it. Alright? So it's totally up to the user. But me, I love Savage Gloves. It always goes well with whatever build you're building. So that's my own personal opinion. You know, teach his own. And that's basically it for the striker pieces, and as you can see for the build. Let's go into the guns. Now here's where it makes a difference in the build. Alright? I'm rocking the Lova C. The Lova C is pretty low in enemy armor damage, but that's okay. I can live with that. 18% in the 1.6 is actually pretty decent. Pretty decent, and it can get a lot higher, trust me. But I'm fine with 18%. As you can see, I'm coming at 19.9k damage with 850 RPMs and 30% mag, but I also got the plus 33 and the plus 49, so I'm stacking. Now, by the way of talents, I'm rocking Vicious. Vicious is a stat that I hate and I love at the same time, but it gives you critical hit chance by 10% while having more than 2 segments of health. So if I lose 2 segments or half of that second segment, then this one is no longer active, and that's the part about it that I hate. But at the same time, going into a battle, you're initially just going to be hitting super hard, and that's the way I like to build. I like to build where I don't have to depend on talents on my gear or special abilities on my gear. And what I mean by special abilities, we all know the striker. If you guys don't know, let me go ahead and quickly show you. If you guys don't know by now, for all you newcomers, striker, every consecutive hit deals 1% more damage, stacks up to 100%. Missing shots drops the bonus by 2%. Bonus reduced by 1% every second. So what that means, if I consistently hit you with shots after shots after shots, I will stack my damage up to 100%, where you will see my primary DPS would go up to, on this build, it will go up to near 700k. Okay, 700,000. That's how high it gets if I stack it all to 100%, and that's extremely strong. But with striker, a lot of people try to depend on that stack. I want the opposite. I wanted this build to hit just as if I was rocking a Banshee build. All right, I don't want to depend on that stack. If I get that stack, that's an extra bonus for me. With this, I'm rocking Deadly and Competent. Competent increases your weapon damage, all right, by 10% for 15 seconds. And Deadly is giving you that raw damage. Critical hit damage is increased by 15%. So It's a pretty decent gun right here with a pretty decent roll, but I'm sure there are talents that can make it a lot more stronger. I just haven't found them yet. I'm still testing things out, but this is what I have for right now. Now going about my guns. Going about my secondary. I'm rocking a Navy MP5. This gun is just so dope. I rock Swift on here due to the fact, I don't know if you guys understand or have been noticing that when you reload now, the reload takes a little long in my opinion. I don't know what's going on with that, but my guy takes forever to reload. So what I did, instead of trying to put reload on my mods, I just went ahead and rolled Swift on it, and it worked out very good. Reason why, Swift actually helps you in your DPS. Swift actually increases your reload speed, meaning that you would outgun the opponent that you're going against to deal the initial more DPS into that person. Alright, so that's why your DPS would go through the roof if you see that you roll Swift on any of your guns. Of course, we have deadly. Critical hit damage is increased by 15%, which is a good roll on SMGs. And of course, I have competent again. I don't know what it is about competent. Some people say competent is not as good as it used to be. It's more based on a skill build. I find that not true in my own opinion. Competent is a very top, in my book, it's a top 5 talent. Like, it's a must-have. I'm just saying. That's just my personal opinion. You guys can leave me your thoughts about it in the comment section below. But I love competent, so I put on majority of my weapons. Alright, so as you can see, I'm at 16.k damage. That competent is going to increase that somewhere around 19k. So that's very strong, and it comes by 20.5 of critical hit chance. Now it can get better because they can go up to 22.5, I think, critical hit chance. So if I find another gun, it's just going to get stronger. Now by the way of mods, here's where it makes a difference in the build. A lot of people don't know how to mod their weapons. So right now I'm basically going to give you 2 videos in one. I'm going to show you the best way I think and I believe after testing is the best way to mod your weapons, alright? And you can try it out for yourself and let me know how you think and what you think about it. Now, on your suppressor, as you can see, I have a lot of suppressors, alright? Let's go to this suppressor right here. Automatically, this suppressor that I'm currently rocking has 19% hit damage, critical hit damage, 3% critical hit chance, and 4.5 optimal range. Optimal range is not needed on this suppressor. It's a wasted talent. So, in my book, I can actually go to this talent, this suppressor right here, the Omega Rifle suppressor, where it comes with 18% headshot damage, 3.5 critical hit chance, and 4% critical hit damage. The reason why I will not switch over to this suppressor and I will stick with the one that I'm currently using with the optimal range, even though optimal range is a wasted talent, is due to the fact that 19% critical hit damage is completely raw damage at all times. Now, headshot damage is a great one to have, but let's be honest, with the people swaying left and right, rolling out of the way, how many bullets are you truly going to land on a person's head if they're not standing completely still or if they don't see you coming, alright? Or how many bullets do you think you would truly land on the torso? Torso is body shots. Matter if they're rolling from you, running towards you, or standing in front of you. You have a higher chance at hitting more critical hit damage, hitting them in the body, rather than try to aim for the head at every gunfight. And in my opinion, raw damage is the best way to go. Dealing the most amount of damage is so much better than trying to be so precise on the headshots. So that's why I have that mod. Critical hit damage, high critical hit damage, and critical hit chance where you can find it is very good on your weapons. And I think on your suppressor, that's what you should go for. Optimal range, look for something else rather than that, alright? You can actually look, it should be critical hit damage, critical hit chance, and headshot damage. That's the kind of suppressor you want to look for, okay? Next, we're going to go for the grip. As you can see, I have 18% critical hit damage, 2.5 stability, and 4.5 reload speed. Stability on the Lovo C is somewhat needed, but you don't really have to use it because the Lovo C, actually, when you shoot it, it goes up, it goes vertical. So if you slightly pull down on your right analog stick, if you're using the PS4, you can actually control where your bullets are going, if they're going up or right. So this is better than the light M4, which the light M4 sways left to right. So this is not a big thing for me, but critical hit damage, that is the key to this build. And you don't know how important that critical hit damage is on the assault rifle due to that fact that assault rifle don't have critical hit chance like the SMGs. Very important. Next, we're gonna go to the Pro Red Dot sight. I really highly anticipate this sight and this sight. These two sights are this sight, the rugged mini reflex sight. As you can see, it comes with critical hit chance, 6% headshot damage, and 4% critical hit damage. Now I only rock this sight if you don't have one of these. All right, if you don't have one of these Pro Red Dot sights, then by all means rock the mini sight. But as far as the Pro Red Dot sight, as you can see, it has 70% critical hit damage, 3% critical hit chance, and 6% headshot damage. Now that same stat is the same stat you want to have on your muzzle, okay? But 17% critical hit damage, as you can see, you're getting a high roll for critical hit damage. Critical hit chance, I think it maxes out at 8% or 9%. That's not too much of a high roll, okay? But the critical hit damage, you can get extremely high with that. And last but not least, let's go into the magazine. Magazine, we're getting the 2.5 critical hit chance with the 5.8 rate of fire and the magazine side. Now, if you've seen rate of fire on here twice, is the reason why, because I don't have Swift rolled on my assault rifle. So therefore, I need to be able to reload a little bit more faster than my opponent so I can dish out more damage whenever I'm in battle. So it helps me out if I'm getting jumped 1v3, 1v2, or sometimes even 1v4, depending on what gameplay I'm playing, all right? So the bigger magazines I find are better going with, okay? So like, look, I have other magazines. I have 110%, 113, 109, and you know, I have a lot of magazines. I've tested a lot. This one has critical hit damage, critical hit chance, and reload speed. I can lower my DPS and I'm still gonna hit extremely hard, and I'm gonna show you why. But I find that I'm more happy with the magazine size and the critical hit chance and the rate of fire. That's my personal preference. You do what you want to do, but for me, this works for me. And that's basically it of how I think the best mods in slots for assault rifles. Now let's go into the character. Primary weapon. This is my assault rifle. I'm coming at 27.5 critical hit chance. That's extremely good for an assault rifle that does not have any critical hit base chance stats on it at all. 109 critical hit damage. When I tell you I'm hitting you like a truck, you're going to feel me. 81% headshot damage. I'm hitting from all aspects. I'm coming at you really, really strong with this build, okay? Now let's look at my secondary, all right? SMG. I'm hitting for 42% critical hit chance. This can get extremely high when I get better mods because the cap is 60%. If I get this anywhere around 50% critical hit chance, it's automatically game over. You don't want to feel these type of bullets hitting your body, all right? I also have critical hit damage at 98%, almost 100%. So this is still hitting you extremely hard. Not to mention those secret talents, okay? So I have the 42%, and then on my Savage Glove is giving me a 7% critical hit chance. Plus, we didn't even talk about my pulse. So I'm probably capping that anywhere the cap, or I'm hitting around about 58% really in critical hit chance after I pulse shoot. All right, and headshot damage is 56%. It's a little low, but with the SMG, it sprays so quickly and it hits so hard. I'm really not aiming for the head. I'm just trying to gun you down as quick as possible. So usually what I do, I'll start off with my assault rifle, and then I would come at you with the SMG to finish you off. Because of course you're gonna have to pop a medipack. So I'm gonna finish you off, all right? And that's basically it. That is basically it for my striker build. So therefore, you see all aspects of my striker build. Let me know in the comment section below which way you prefer to roll your gear, and what do you think are best mods in slots on Pacific weapons as of assault rifle and SMGs. To me, I think the ones that I showed you are pretty damn good and are pretty much in there. So I can guarantee you're probably going to find that you have the same mods as me, or you might want to try the mods that I have and just give them a test run and see how do you like them, all right? But this is my striker build for the 1.6, and I will be putting up a video following up this video so you can see that It's no joke. It's a really strong build. Alright? So it's your boy Narakius. Make sure you like, subscribe, and see you when I see you. Peace!